welcome back. So today didn't really have much except I decided to do something for GUI, so health bars, HUDs, and all that stuff. Alright, so let's get started on that. Now, what is a GUI? A GUI is basically like the pictures that come up on the screen. So you have your health bar that's like on the top left or bottom left or wherever you want it. Then you got like numbers coming off on the screen, or like numbers coming off the objects and all that stuff. Now for GUIs in Unigine, we have two. We have the system, which is the screen GUI, the one that you're looking at, and the other GUI is actually just right-clicking somewhere in the world, going all the way down to GUI. We have GUI and GUI mesh. So if we were to just click it, now we have a little object over here which will display a GUI. Now you have different types. You got like videos, images, pictures. So this could be like your way of making like a TV or play a video, or posters, but like a dynamic moving poster and all that stuff. But that's not the one we're looking for at the moment. The one we're looking for is the one that's the engines, which is the default one, and we're going to be using that. So for that, I just have a normal GUI node, which is just an empty node. I put it on the origin, and I have a function that takes in a file. If I go here, this is what I have. Just called it HUD maker. We have init, update, and then we have a file image. And then we also have three other stuff, which is the GUI pointer, the widget canvas pointer, and the sprite. So the canvas is the it will take care of shapes and text, while the sprite will take care of images. That's why we have the name as image, right? So without doing too much, let's take this picture that we have, which is a 480 by 480, and we're just going to copy it here. Just press yes, here it is, and I'm going to put that over there. Alright, so now we have it connected, so if we want to take a picture, it's going to be that one. Let's go in here and let's actually start coding this stuff. So the first thing we're going to do is actually get the GUI pointer to the engine, or like the main GUI pointer. So GUI equals to Unigine GUI get. So this will get us the main engine pointer, and now we can, and now it's just connected. So we're not going to use that yet, because what we're going to do is actually we're going to start to try to put widgets inside this GUI so it renders it. So that's how it works. And to make GUIs, we're going to use our pointers. So first, let's make a text. We're going to use our canvas, and we're just going to do a canvas, this, add a text, and then it's going to ask us for order. Order means inside this canvas we can have multiple stuff. So we can have multiple texts, multiple shapes like squares, boxes, triangles, hexagons, and all that. The order means which one overlaps what. The higher the number, the top it is. The lower the number, the bottom it is. So I want this text to be on top. We're going to keep it number 1 for now. And there's also one more thing, is it returns a number, and it returns an element ID of the added text string. So we're actually going to have to save this. So we're going to save it on an int x. Alright, now that we have this added text, we can actually add the text too, right? So canvas, and then we do set text, and we have a few functions. So we have color, order that we just did, outline, pixel perfect, position, size, text, and transform. Alright, so the ones we're mostly going to be using, or most of the time you would use, is the color one, the position one, size, and text. So let's go with the color. Alright, and then it's going to ask for the number of the text, which we saved it as x, and then it's going to ask for a vector 4. So you have the choice of going to math and then vector 4. You either have a choice of making your own vector 4, so something like 1, 1, 1, and 0.5, just for now, and that gives us a vector 4, or you could do the presets, which is vector 4 dot underscore black or red or something. Anyways, so that's one. Then we set canvas set text. We can choose the size. Alright, so X and the size to be like, let's say 30. Okay, then the next thing we could do is actually the position. So you want to set the size before the position. So text position, set text position, and we're going to choose the text number X, and the position is within the screen. So there's different types of screens. We have like center, front, left, right. I'm going to use the expand, which means takes the whole screen. 0, 0 being top left, and the width and height being bottom right. So we're going to do Unigine math vector 2, and now we have the choice of using numbers X and Y, the width and the height. We have two choices. We can either write or hard code the positions, which I would not recommend, because if you had to change resolutions, you're gonna have to recalculate those. Or we can do it procedurally by just, let's say, width equals to Unigine app get height, or get width in this case, right? And then the next one would be like height equals to Unigine app get height, right? So now we have the screen's height and width, and we could just do this, and then if we wanted, let's say, in the center of it, we could just do divided by 2. Right, so now it's stuck in the center position. Alright, so we have the color, the size, the position, and now what we have is actually the text itself. So set text, and choose the number, which is X, and the text, for now we'll just see that. Okay, so that's that. That's for text. Let's make a shape. Let's make a box, or like a health bar or something. You know, so we can see what other things canvas has. So equals to canvas, and then arrow, add polygon. Alright, it's gonna ask for the order. This one I want it to be under, so we're gonna choose add polygon 0. Then we have the ability to add polygon point, so, and set polygon colors. So we set the color first. I'm just gonna set the color first because we're kind of used to it. We use the number, which is Y, and then we use Unigine vector 4, math vector 4. So we have the choice of using one of these colors, or we could just use our own. I'm gonna use 0, 0, 0, and 0.5, and you're gonna see the difference between this number and this, this color and this color. Next, canvas set, or actually add polygon points. So these are going to be the points which you add to make a shape, and we're going to use Y, and then vector 3, and we give it a number. Now for points, you have to be sure when you're making a shape, you have to go in a circle. So if you are making a square, you have to go either clockwise or anti-clockwise. So let's say if the point is like bottom left, bottom right, top left, top right, and then top left, you have to go in a circle, or you can go the other way around, but you have to go in an order. And for our case, let's say we wanted it to be, we'll do width and height. We'll do this. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna put it in the middle. Okay, I'm gonna add this. The Z does not matter. Z doesn't do anything. The one that we're gonna do is we're gonna put it in the middle, and we're gonna minus plus it to move it around, right? So let's just say at the moment we put it in the center place. So then we're gonna do width height divided by 2. Okay, let me just copy and paste this 4 times. Okay, we have a little box, and now let's just make a box which goes from like the middle of the screen. It will go 400 wide and 100 long. So we have something like, it starts from here and it's like 400 going to the right and 100 going down. So it's going to be 0 0 something plus 400. So we're just going to add a plus 400. Then we're going to do the same thing, plus 400 and plus 100, because now it's on the bottom. And then we're going to do going back to where we were, and then plus 100. So that gives us a square that starts from the middle and it goes down. Okay, so that's that, and we added a polygon. Okay. Is there anything more with a polygon? I think that's about it. You can choose to be a background and everything, but let's add it into our GUI. So we go into the GUI, alright, and then we add a child, and it's going to ask us for the widget pointer. We're going to choose the canvas, and then it's going to ask us for a flag. So this is where things actually make sense. So if you were to align it at the bottom, it's going to start from the bottom and it's going to go in reverse, or it's going to go even lower with these numbers and you won't even see it. You align it in the center, it's gonna start from the center, and then it's going to add these numbers. Since we did width divided by 2, height divided by 2, it's going to be in the corner and it's not going to work. Expand starts from the top left, so we're going to be using expand for us. And now we have everything aligned from 0 0 from the top left all the way to 1920 times 1080 on the bottom right. Okay, so that's it for text and shapes. But what about images? Images are different. So for images, we're gonna have to do did I even create it? Okay, so this won't work right now. This will currently not work, the canvas, because we didn't create the canvas or the image. So over here, if we go over here, canvas equals to Unigine canvas widget canvas create, and same thing for the sprite, image equals to, might as well make it capital I since everything's capital I. Oh, that's why, because this one's a small I. I'm just gonna change the name. Alright, and then for this, Unigine widget sprite create. Now because these are pointers, they're currently pointing to null. When we create, it gives us a new, and then it puts it as a pointer to it. Okay, so that's that, and now it's gonna work. So for image, how are we going to do this? We do the same thing because it will give us a number. So we're gonna do image add layer. Now we have the ability to add texture too, but texture is the overall background, and sometimes it will take the whole screen. So if you're gonna do something like that, go ahead, but for layer it just means a picture, right? So the next thing we're gonna do is for image, it's not add image, it's I think it was set layer image. Yes, set layer image. So for the layer itself, we're going to do Z, and then it's going to ask us for image pointer, which we do not have right now. So what we're going to do is actually create that image pointer underscore I equals to Unigine, again, image, and then create. All the functions of Unigine have this creation thing, and then from there, then we use the underscore I with the arrow, and then we say load, and it's gonna load, and it has 3 overloads. One of them is the constant character file path. So this is going to be the file path, and we're gonna take our image that we have, so image dot get Alright, and that will return our absolute file path for our image, which is going to be the crosshair that we have. Okay, so for images, once we have that, we can just copy paste this underscore I, put it here, and then one more, it says dynamic. So if this picture is going to be moving around or if it's going to be changing, we have to change this to 1. But if it's not, for now it's not, we're going to keep it to 0. Okay, so that does that. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to have to do a few things. So for images, it's a little bit technical for some reason, but this is the only way I found out it works in C++. So the first thing we're going to do is actually we're going to do an image set transform, and then it's going to ask us for the transformation. Transformation is a 4x4 matrix, and that's going to get confusing. So what we're going to do is actually math, alright, and mat4, I'm just going to call it mat, and I'm going to call it as image get transform. So now it has the same transformation matrix, and we're going to change its translation. Set translate, alright, and now it's going to ask for a vector, Unigine math vector 3. Okay, so what we're going to do is actually going to get a vector 3, and we're going to put a 0 on the z, and for the x and y, we're going to put the when we click on it, the actual size of the object. So I'm going to do 512 by 512. Now trust me on this, the reason why we're doing this is because the next thing we're going to do after this is actually going to set the scale from 1 to 1. So now what we do is we put the mat inside that transform, and now it has it scaled 1 to 1. Okay, if we don't do this part, we're going to have the picture be 512 by 512, and it's gonna just not work the way you want it to work. Next, we're gonna do image set position. Now it's gonna ask for the position on the screen. We're gonna do, let's see. We're gonna do the width divided by 2 and the height divided by 2. I'm just gonna copy it and put it there. Alright. And then the last thing it's going to ask for is the height and the width. So now we can do the image set height and set width. So this is going to be the sizing of the object. Now it says it won't be as small as this, but what this will happen is it will be the exact height that you want it to be. So I'm gonna say I want it to be 50 pixels by 50 pixels long, stuck in the middle, and now it's scaled properly to its side. That is gonna work. Now for adding this one, we're gonna add child image. We're not gonna do the same as this. What we're gonna do is actually GUI, and then we're going to use line fixed, and we're going to use this operator, which is basically the backslash hold shift and press backslash, you get the OR operator, and we're going to do GUI align overlap. I don't know why this works, but this is the only combination that made it work properly. If you have any other combinations, do let me know, but that's the one that has been working for me all the time. Alright, so once we're done with this, we actually wanted to render. So how we're going to render it is actually we're going to do that first line that we got, GUI equals Unigine GUI.get, and that's it. So now every frame it's going to be showing that picture. So let's check it out and hope I did everything correctly. Alright, so we have so basically we have the box, and then we have the text, and as I said, it started from the from the center, and it went further beyond. Now if you want it exactly in the middle, you have functions called get text width get text height and divide it by 2 and then add it to it, so then it gets in the middle. And the same with this, we did a plus 400, so instead we can do like a minus 200 and then minus 200 here and minus 100 and all, you know, the little procedural stuff. Okay, now for the images, it says that it couldn't load the image, so I'm just gonna have to check that. Alright, now that we're back, we can finally add this, save it, and then press play. Okay, so now we actually have that picture. Let me just mute the canvas. So what I did was I made the image into caps and it had no problems. Restarted the thing and added it here. Okay, so now we have, as you can see, because we have GUI, it actually overlaps with our what's it called, our visualizer, so you have to be careful. Now you see as the image is starting from the center, but it's not at the same, so what we're gonna do is we are gonna centralize everything. Okay, and to do that, we're just gonna put these in brackets. I'm gonna minus it by the size that we gave it, right? So I'm gonna, so if we were to do this, right, we could put it like this and minus it by image get width divided by 2, right? And just put this in brackets because order matters. And for height, do the same thing, minus in brackets image get height divided by 2. Okay, so that fits that. And then if I wanted to put this in the middle, we're gonna do the same thing. There is minus, we have canvas get text width divided by 2 and the text number X. Just copy this and do the same here. Alright, so that puts those in the middle. Now for our polygon, what we're gonna do is actually we're gonna have to do a little bit of math. If we want the thing to be 400 long and 100 down, so what we're gonna do is actually minus 200 this, plus 200 this, plus 200 this, and minus 200 this, and then for these, we're gonna minus 50, minus 50, and then plus 50, and plus 50. So now it's in the middle, minus 200, minus 50, and then plus 50. So now everything is in the middle. So let's check it out. Alright, so we got our dude in the middle. The text didn't go in the middle. Let me just... Okay, so it is working. I just don't know why it's not putting it exactly in the middle. Probably because some kind of don't know. But anyways, so we got that, and then we got this, and yeah, everything works. So we got the reticule in the middle, we got the box over here, we got the text, and I don't know why the text isn't exactly in the middle, but you guys can figure that out. Other than that, we got GUI. So we got the little square, that's our health bar, we got the image, which is our reticule, and then we got the text, which could be like our description. So that's it for the basics. We will talk more about this in later episodes. Alright, I have spoken enough, and I'll see you guys next time. Alright, goodbye.